And Air Canada 856, we're ready for a vector.
Canada 856, thanks. To the left heading 150 degrees.
Left heading 150, Air Canada 856. Severe turbulence on final.
Speedbird 72, runway 27 on that. Clear to land, surface wind is 230 degrees and 29er, gusting 40 knots.
Clear land 27 left, Speedbird 72.
Hello guys, and welcome to another video. It is Thomas. How are we all doing today? Hope you're all well. I'm okay. This is the Delta Airbus A319. We're flying from Orlando, Florida, if you didn't notice the palm trees. Orlando, Florida to Dallas, Fort Worth. Obviously in the Airbus A319. And this is fantastic scenery. I am very surprised at how good it is. And these palm trees, I'm like, do they actually have palm trees there? Is that real? I don't know. But we are in the Airsoft Airbus A319, the stunning aircraft. We're in FSX today, purely because I wanted easy dock, and there's not really any other reason. You see, easy dock is the best thing in the world, and without it, I felt that, yeah, once you go, you can't go back. So P3D has to wait, because I couldn't get it to work. But this is the Airsoft Airbus A319, and we are, as I said, flying Delta Airlines Flight 1418 to Dallas Fort Worth from Orlando, Florida. And there's palm trees. It's amazing, isn't it? Let's jump into the cockpit and get set up. And first thing we're going to do is put the external power on and the batteries, which should bring everything alive. Put the ECAM displays on, and the navigation displays, and then the PFD. Gonna jump over to the second FMC, and put the checklist on, and the co-pilot, and get them to do cockpit preparation.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Batteries,
Both on.
electrical power,
External power is on.
navigation lights,
Set on.
engine master,
Both off.
engine mode selector,
Checked normal.
landing gear lever,
Checked.
parking brake,
Off.
flaps,
Checked position.
speed brake lever,
Checked retracted.
thrust levers,
Idle.
transponder mode,
Checked standby.
radio control panel,
Set on.
ECAM recall,
Checked.
anti-skid,
On.
flight director,
On.
emergency lights,
Set.
no smoking signs,
Set on.
anti-ice,
Off.
probe window heat,
Auto.
air condition,
Checked.
ventilation panel,
Is checked.
electric panel,
Checked.
fuel pumps,
Set on.
But there's
hydraulics,
lots of
Is
fuel
checked.
pumps.
AccuBrake pressure,
Checked.
ground proximity warning system,
On.
electronic flight control system,
On.
adheres,
Set to nav.
emergency equipment,
Is checked.
checklist complete.
Cool. They have finished their things. The cockpit preparation checklist is done. Current flight time today is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Obviously, I'll cut that down so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. That would be quite boring, wouldn't it? We are very, very light today. Our passenger capacity is 142, but we're only going to be taking 30 people. So a pretty empty flight, but just under 2 tons of cargo, so we're going to be quite heavy in the cargo region. Our flight plan obviously takes us west. You would hope that it would. Pretty much following the coastline actually. And then we obviously head north a little bit towards Dallas. So we obviously have to wait for the IRSs to align, or whatever they are called, because No one knows. 4 minutes or so. In the meantime, I will get the FMC set up. Click align the IRSs. Our company route, which I do have, obviously, is Kilo Mike Charlie Oscar. I keep going to the Echo button because I usually fly in Europe, and it's rather strange. To Kilo, I can't even. Yeah. Oh my goodness. KD, Delta Foxtrot Whiskey 01 is the company route. Please wait. It's done that. We are Delta 1418. Cost index, I haven't got a clue, so I'll use 55. We are cruising today at flight level 380. Now the actual flight, the Delta flight, actually uses an Airbus A320, but I don't actually have it, so I use this instead. Block fuel, as I said, was going to be 6.6 tons. Oh, not 3.6, what am I doing? 6.6. And that also reminds me to, let's go and put the fuel in, because that could be something we want to do. Load and fuel. Passenger, as I said, was 30, which is really light. Can start boarding now. Cargo, oh, there's Easy Dock. Loving life. Cargo is 2.3. And fuel is looking to be 6.6. And we can start fueling as well. So 2 minutes left on that. Let's jump over to here and set this up. Gonna put that on there. Left click that. 6,000. Actually no. We'll go with 18,000. Because not flying on VATSIM today, unfortunately, because there's no one around. There never is whenever I'm flying, which is rather annoying. 18,000 feet is set. Flight directors are on. I think the QNH is actually 1013, but we are flying around. And we're in the US, so we have to put 29902. I love how it still says QNH. That's weird, isn't it? Squawk. We'll just squawk something random, so as we're not squawking the default. I think that is everything apart from parking brake, which we are going to put on. Fantabulous. How long have we got left on the IRS? It's 1 minute until the displays come alive. Okay. So, let's go outside and admire the aircraft. It does look amazing, doesn't it? And there's palm trees. I'm going to keep pointing that out. That's I didn't actually realise how big Orlando Airport was, because when I spawned in, I didn't realise how big it was, because I spawned on an active runway, which is as far away from the terminal as possible. But it is really big, and I didn't know that. I was going to fly a 777 out of here, but I couldn't find any routes that would have really been suitable, and I didn't really have time, so oh well. The IRSs are aligned now, which is fantastic. Let's just check whether that looks okay. Runway 36 right for departure. I'll just go down to the FMC and finish what we had started. The flight plan has a discontinuity in it, but that's probably because I haven't put anything in there. So, departure runway 36 right, and I haven't put a SID in, which is probably why it's having a hissy fit. So the SID today is the Kilo. In fact, actually, I'm not. No, it's not. It's the Jag 4 departure, of which we're going to insert, and that doesn't look any different than it did before, but oh well. So let's get rid of that discontinuity, because is it not going to let me? No, it's not going to let me. Oh well. Just keep going down, and there's another discontinuity, and it did let me get rid of that, which is good. We're going to put the arrival in, actually. Actually, no, we'll do that on the way in case it changes. Fuel protection, 2.1 tons on the ground at Dallas. Initialization, we're looking good. Performance, let's do that. Flaps 1 for takeoff because we are really light. Flex to temp of 57 degrees. It gives us a V rotate of 132 knots, which is quite fast actually. I'm not sure. It could be the cargo that's given us that such a high speed. Going over to there is no next page. Next phase, that's what I want to click on. Everything's looking okay, which is nice. We shall leave the flight plan page up, and we are nearly ready to go, I think. I need to start my tracker for the airline so that I can track this flight, and we'll be on our way very shortly. Okay, I think we're about ready to go, so let's go and have a look at the doors, and we shall close a couple of them because that could be a good idea. So aircraft doors, we shall close the front left and get on with the checklist.
Before start checklist.
Windows and doors.
Closed and locked.
Unfortunately, there's no shadows over there anymore.
Set
Sad.
on.
Sad
APU
face.
bleed.
I think they have to. The thing about this is when they do this checklist, they have to wait for the APU to start, but they don't actually say anything. So it's just kind of just a silence until the APU starts, which is a long time. The aircraft in its stunningness, it does look so nice though, doesn't it? In fact, actually, you can hear the APU starting anyway. There you go. APU is going to come online very soon because I just heard it start. And we're waiting for it. There we go.
Set on.
External power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin signs.
Set on.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 2992.
2992. Check. Beacon lights.
Set on.
Checklist complete.
Fabulous. We will require pushback, obviously, and unless we can try and taxi off the stand, that would be a bit of a disaster, I would imagine, if we tried to do that. But cool. So let's hop outside and see which way we want to go. I'm going to guess that we don't really want to go through the bridge because that would be quite bad. So I'm going to push straight back and we'll go that way. We don't really have any choice about that. We can't really go any other way. Okay, so runway 36 right is where we're heading. Okay, so we want start procedure with pushback is number 1. We're going to configure the pushback. We need to go straight 50 meters.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, sir.
Ground, we have ATC clearance for push and start. Please confirm ground equipment and services are clear.
Roger.
Now this is a thing with
Ground
P3D
equipment and stairs are clear.
and
All doors
FSX,
closed. Steering pin is in position and we're ready when you are, Captain.
is I was complaining about low frame rate,
Start pushback.
and now I'm back in FSX. I kind of realised that I got
Right, sir,
pretty
please
much
release
exactly
parking
the same FPS in P3D than I did in FSX, so I don't really know what I was complaining about. So we are going to start the push at some point.
Parking brakes released.
once we release the parking brake, obviously.
Push back, you can start both engines at your discretion, Captain.
Okay.
Gonna start engine 2. So, ignition over to the right.
Starting
and
engine 2.
Start engine number 2. Do you ever get that sense where you think you've forgotten something? I'm getting that right now, and I don't know what I forgot. But we will probably find out. There goes the engine. Number 1. Now we're going to see, I'm going to guess that we're going to push back straight. I'm hoping. As we pull away from the gate, we just
Engine 2 is stabilized.
admire how good it looks. Let's start engine number 1.
Starting number 1.
Well, that was a pathetic pushback, wasn't it? We might be able to make the turn. Just gonna keep going backwards, hopefully. This scenery is really
Engine 1
nice.
is stabilized.
Good. So we need to keep going back so we can actually make that turn, because I don't want to destroy anything. So we shall keep going back. That bridge is really annoying. I just feel like we're going to hit it or something. Can't see the wing, but oh well. I have a really nice takeoff cam though, so that'll be used a lot. Okay.
And pushback is complete, Captain. Please set your parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set.
Okay then, Captain. Tow bar disconnected. You know steering pin is removed. All clear. Signal on the right. Have a good run, sir.
I'm gonna wait. That's what it's telling me. It's telling me, please wait, don't move. Okay, we'll do
After
that.
start checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Set.
APU bleed.
Set off.
APU master.
Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Rudder trim.
Checked 0.
Pitch trim.
Set.
Flight controls.
Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Check. Flaps.
Flaps 1.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Beacon status.
Checked.
Beacon door page.
Checked.
Hand signal.
Received.
Checklist complete.
Okie dokie, let's get taxiing. We'll release the parking brake. And this aircraft does have a habit of just rolling forwards without any power at all. Which is kind of strange. But oh well. So, because that bridge was in the way, it messed us up, but oh well. We are going to be fine. Now, Orlando, Florida Airport is kind of famous because it's got that bridge. It's got several bridges actually where you
Taxiing checklist.
can taxi over them. And I don't know whether we're going to go over them or not.
No flight.
Set on.
Brake check.
Pedal pressed. Checked 0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Max.
Takeoff data.
Reviewed.
FCU.
Checked.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. TO config.
Set.
Checklist complete.
I almost find that that brake brake check is just so violent. It's slamming on the brakes. And that's the thing with Flight Simulator, you've got no variation in brake as to how hard you press the brake. They're either on or off. And especially in the Airbus, they're either on or you're slamming them on. The flaps are set, which is good. We are pretty much ready for takeoff. Just need to get to the runway. Now Orlando is rather difficult to navigate around, you see. And that's some nice water. And there's the control tower. And I'm trying to stay on this nice line. Now, we're back in FSX, as I said. It does look nice. In the P3D video I did say that P3D looked better. I must admit that because obviously most add-ons are now compatible with P3D, I would convert, theoretically, if that word is even relevant, I would convert to P3D and just use P3D, but I'm a bit rubbish with installing stuff that isn't quite 100% isn't 100% compatible. So I was a bit, I don't know whether I should. That's what I'm trying to say. Is, should I install it? And I don't know whether I should. But we shall see. Now I don't have a clue where I'm going, so I'm going to cheat. I'm sorry everyone. Okay. I know where we're going. I'm sorry. I didn't know where I was going. But it looks like we are going to be going over the bridges. And I'm quite pleased about that. And very excited and ready to go. So, yes, I'm not sure whether there's going to be cars on the road, but we'll find out. I think there is some kind of procedure as to which one you go up, as like it's traffic on like a road, like left and right and all that. But I'm just going to go up the first one. Which is pretty cool. You know. So, we don't have any scenery at the other end, unfortunately. Because I couldn't find any to buy. Like, there is none. Well, there is, I just couldn't find any. Yes, exciting, I know. I love how the taxiways just change colour and all that. Different materials, it's pretty cool. I know. I've been using like no thrust at all. Come on, let's go. High speed. I've just kind of figured that this is just way too low, so I'm going to fix it. There we go. I've just changed my EasyDock camera because it was too low. So, I think the bridges are here somewhere, he says. Is it just me, does that look like a barrier? I think it does. Just brake. You know what, we'll cross over and take the other one, because that looks messed up. His engine sounds brilliant. I'm not sure about the braking, but oh well. I'm gonna keep the wing view people happy. You guys happy now? Imagine taxiing like this. It's crazy. Oh, you can tell. We nearly ran off and fell off the bridge. That would be very bad. Imagine that. Okay. Oh, we're on the bridge. That's a cool road. That's absolutely horrendous, but the bridge is kind of cool. It's like going over speed bumps. That's so strange. Oh well. My laptop has locked itself. How inconvenient. So this long taxi out to the runway. We are going 30 knots now, so that is quite fast. Probably illegally fast, but oh well. Why don't I choose the runway as far away as possible from the terminal? I don't know, we'll always be asking that. So that's the flight plan. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like it's going to work. So where is this runway? It's over there somewhere. See, this is what happens when you've never been to an airport before. And you try and find a runway, and you can't find it. I think it's ahead of us, actually. Because everyone knows where it is. So, just while I'm faffing around, let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff. Before takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake fans.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
TARA, tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Set on.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Checklist complete.
I think we've found the runway. It's just off to our right hand side, and I love how the grass is just appearing. It actually does say on the charts, it says be alert to runway crossing clearances. Read back of all runway holding instructions is required. So I'm going to guess that they have had some runway incursions, which is not good. So we'll go all the way to the end. We want full length for takeoff, just because we have a whole runway, and why not use it all? That's not my motto, that is just something I just made up right now. Oh well. So yeah, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's quite a long time. And first time flying in the US in ages. In fact, I don't think I've really flown in the US seriously at all, actually. It's always Europe. There we go.
Approaching 36 right.
Good. We're approaching the right runway. That is pleasing. And now for the stunning bit is when we pull onto the runway. Runways always look different in the US. It's so annoying. In fact, it's good. I like it.
On runway 36 right.
Good. We're on the right one. So, just line up with the center line, just because otherwise, yeah. So, everything looks pretty good here. No lights and all that, which is nice. So, let's go.
Takeoff. Man, toga, SRS and runway.
Check. Power set. 100 knots.
Checked.
Speed 1. Rotate.
We certainly did accelerate very fast then.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check.
Climb thrust.
Gears up. Lights off.
Flap 0.
Speed check. Flaps 0.
The after takeoff checklist.
Engine
Autopilot
mode
on.
selector.
Check normal.
Spoil.
Good.
Set off.
Tax.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Checked.
Altimeter.
2992.
2992. Check. Checklist complete.
We are climbing like a rocket. We are so light. It's unbelievable. Wow. Wow, we are climbing so fast, it's unbelievable. Wow. We pitched up at 15 degrees and we're cruising at 250, that's fast. There's the wing views for you guys. Like that, there's a cloud. Woohoo. Well, there you go. For some reason the aircraft just refused to follow the flight plan then. I think it had a hissy fit. Well, let's fix that. Let's try and get back on the flight plan. That's what happens, guys, when you get distracted by the amazing views. The aircraft just chooses not to do what you want it to do. Oh well. Let's set an intercept heading on the flight plan.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Oh my.
Lights off.
Wow, we climbed incredibly fast then. Let's climb all the way up to 380. And the speed's coming up fast as well. This is a light aircraft today. Does, however, mean we're going to be affected quite badly by wind, which we currently have a 22 knot headwind. But oh well. Okay. Let's try and get back on that heading. I think everything is looking pretty good. Yeah, it's getting a little confused. That's what's down. But we'll see you in the cruise.
Seatbelt signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Landing information.
Received.
Altimeter.
Standard.
Error radio.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Cool. Okay, we've done descent preparation checklist. We're all set to go down. For which I'm going to set that, just so we don't mess ourselves up. So I'm going to set 10,000 feet initially, because I don't know what the airport elevation is, and I can't imagine it to be any bigger than 10,000 feet. Our top of descent is actually quite soon. And it was a rather nice flight. No problems. We did fix the LNAV after you'd gone, because it had broken itself. So we may as well go down now, actually.
Initiating descent.
FMA check.
Radar tilt.
Set below.
So the throttles have come back. And we're going down. Now I was very surprised as to how quickly this aircraft climbed. It was absolutely crazy. It was so light, and that was why. So yeah, this is exciting. 36,000 feet. We've already gone down 1,300 feet. So strange. Okie dokie. So, let's take a look at the FMC. And we can get set up for all that stuff. Okie dokie. So, landing runway 36 right at Dallas Fort Worth, which is exactly the same runway that we took off from, but oh well. Arrival is going to be runway 36 right, if I can get it working. No, go back. Scroll through all of the pages to find the right runway. There we go, ILS runway 36 right. And it's the Charlie Quebec Yankee 6 arrival. Or we'll take the 8, because it appears it doesn't have that, and insert it into the flight plan. It's okay. There is a discontinuity, I believe. And we will not get rid of that, because it won't let us do that. Just sort ourselves out. Go direct to Charlie Quebec Yankee. I think there is a discontinuity, which is messing it up a little bit. According to that, we're not allowed to get rid of it. Okay. So, next waypoint is 2-2. That's such a strange waypoint. Do that and see how that happens. I think that might have fixed our problem, which it did. I have a really sore throat. You might be able to tell, I'm not sure. Every time I talk, my throat gets even worse, but oh well. So, just a quick recap. This is DAL1418 in the fabulous livery, the Delta Airlines one. It is a rather nice paint. And as I said, we don't have scenery, unfortunately, for Dallas Fort Worth. Only because I basically chose this destination last minute. And I'm rather frustrated because I've just looked at across the pond bookings for VATSIM. And they appear to, it's been booked out. And what's weird is I checked this morning, and and it's all gone. Although I did check, when I did check this morning, there were like 60 spaces left, and I was like, oh, I'll book it later. Clearly, I won't be booking it later because there's no more space. Oh well. That's rather annoying. Oh well. I won't be doing cross the pond this year then. maybe later on in the year when we go eastbound again. So just going through 20,000 feet, going to descend around about 10,000. I'm not sure what the restrictions are on the FMC. Well, it always seems to change, so... Our nav radio has got the ILS frequency and the course set and amazingness. And we just have to get ready for landing, obviously. There's not much else.
Altitude.
Oh, that's transition altitude. Woohoo.
Checked. 2992.
2992. Check.
Well, as I said, there's not much else for us to do for a little while, so we'll be back in a minute. And we're back again. We're cloud surfing. Woohoo! Well, no, actually, we're just at 10,000 feet. I thought we wouldn't really want to descend any further than this. Because the last time I did that, we were hill surfing. Well, we were very close to terrain, and it was making me rather nervous. So I've stayed a little bit higher this time. And we have around about 70 miles to run before we land, which is not too far. We will commence our descent in a little while, but hopefully it should go okay. There's no scenery, unfortunately, for the other end. As I was taking off, I kind of realised, oh, we don't have any scenery. But oh well, I probably couldn't afford it anyway. I spent all my money. Oh well, we're just coming up on the waypoint of Charlie, Quebec, Yankee, which is...
10,000 feet.
Thank you for that.
Lights on.
Great. They interrupt me all the time, it's so annoying. As I said, Charlie, Quebec, Yankee, and actually that's the glide slope button. We're just passing Charlie, Quebec, Yankee, which is the start of our star. The start of our star. That's so difficult to say. I can't speak anyway. It's the start of our star to runway 36 right. And I'm going to do the performance for thingy-majiggy. I believe it's 1013. Which is 29902. Bad format, thank you for that. It's probably realised. 29902. What do you mean bad format? 10.13. No, that's out of range. How do I do it? 29.92. Ah, that's nice. Temperature on the ground is only 14 degrees Celsius. Transition altitude, we've already passed it, was 18,000 feet. We are choosing flaps full. Our landing speed is going to be 116 knots, which is really slow. If we look at the... We're only going to have 1 ton of fuel. That's probably because I was messing around and we had to fly around in circles for a little bit while I figured it out. It is active now, which is good. Go back to the flight plan. We're all set up, ready to go. With not very far to run. And now we're reaching Howdy. The waypoint, we're going to descend a little bit further, just so we keep up with stuff. Don't want to let the aircraft get ahead of us, and we don't want to be too high, because this aircraft is not very good at losing altitude. But oh well. I am pleased with America. I must say it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Although I don't really fly in America very much, and I'm quite surprised. I quite like it. I think I might fly in America a bit more. I need to get Active Sky again, because you know how it is. I had the trial edition. I'm sorry everyone, I didn't buy it, I had the trial edition. Oh well. And I think Active Sky, it does wreck my frames a little bit, but not too bad. Good, turning left. Okay. I'm going to initiate a little bit more of a descent down to about 5,000 feet. And then once we're down there, we can bring the speed back a little bit and get even more ready for landing. Okay, so we have around 40 miles to run before we touch down. And the only way I know that is because that's what my range is set to, and that's, I can only just see the runway. So we have about 40 miles to run, just coming down to about 5,000 feet. In fact, just coming through 8,500. This is like the slowest bit of the whole video, is landing. It's so slow. Don't you just love, this is on a different subject, don't you just love looking at people's screenshots on the That's on Facebook page? Because they've either increased the gamma or the saturation on the image to make it look even more real, but what I don't understand is why do they not just do that in the sim with sweet effects or something? Or maybe they did. But I swear, like, the only thing people do with screenshots is just increase the saturation and darken the image a lot. Like, they darken the image a lot. And it makes it look realistic. Well, it does. It's kind of cool though. It's running up 5,000 feet. We are getting rather close, which is always good. I forgot to set some, put Unicom on, or what is it, advisory? I think that's what it's called in the US. Change to advisory on 122.8, but I'm pretty sure it's not 122.8. Oh well. I don't know anything about the US. Well, in terms of aviation, I don't know. All I know is they use inches of mercury instead of hectopascals. Because I know nothing. Oh well. This is like the slowest bit of the whole flight. We'll cut back once we're nearly there. Okay, it's just about to commence the approach checklist. In around about 2 miles. And we look pretty much configured for landing in terms of buttons and all that. In terms of speed, we are still quite fast, but that'll slow down in just a second. Just off to the right hand side, around about 1 or 2 o'clock, we can see the city of Dallas-Fort Worth in Texas. At least I think it's in Texas. You can tell my geography.
Approach checklist.
They interrupt me again.
DSM status.
Silly people.
Checked.
I feel like just a
Sliding
passenger
tables.
right now.
Stowed.
I pretty much am.
Stowed.
And she's got her
Signs.
tray table closed.
Checked.
Nav currency.
Checked.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 2992.
2992. Checked. Checklist complete.
Good. Okay, bring the range down to around 20 miles, which is telling me we don't have very far to go.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing.
We're loading more scenery over there. It's very green. Is this what America's like? I don't know. It is really green though. Like, there's no fields like there is in the UK. It's just one big open space with like roads. That could just be me not having a clue what Dallas is actually like. But oh well. I'm going to commence the descent down to around about 3,000 feet. Just so we are around about at the right height to intercept the ILS. That would be good. Oh, the houses are all loading in now. Fantastic. That airport over there is an airport that I could tell you the name of. It's Kilo Romeo Bravo Oscar. If you didn't know, it's down there somewhere. Doesn't it look nice? It's there. I'm not sure what our alternate was. Good. So 3,000 feet. The ILS indicators are enabled by this button, which is always good. The localizer button will be very useful very shortly. Good, we're about 2,500 feet above the ground, which is quite low, but oh well, we can cope, he says. Still haven't got eyes on the airport, but...
Flaps 1.
Oh,
Speed check, flaps 1.
okay, they're going to do that for me, but oh well. I haven't got sight on the airport, but I'm confident that it's somewhere over there, he says. You never know, we could just be totally in the wrong place. I'll have a check on the fuel, let's see how much we're going to have, because I hear that it's not very much. 0.9 tons. That is not very much at all. Imagine if we ran out of fuel trying to taxi back to the gate. That would be very embarrassing. I'm loving this. It's just open, like nothing here. It's pretty cool. Oh look, there's fields down there. You can tell I've never been to America just by listening to me. Never in my life have been to America, but I'm sure it's very nice over there. I would want to go live there. So if anyone wants to buy me a plane ticket, then they are more... Is that a golf course? I think they have golf courses in America. That was sarcastic. I did actually know they have golf courses. Don't worry. Imagine if I didn't actually know that. There's so many airports. There's one there. There was one over there. There was one behind us. It's unbelievable. You have so many airports. It's pretty cool. I want to live here now. It does, however, mean that if you have an engine failure, then you're pretty much guaranteed to land at an airport of whichever one, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a screenshot there. Is that another airport over there? Oh my goodness. Wow. You guys are so lucky. You have... must be very noisy though. So, we are pretty much ready to go. Let's enable localizer. I can see the airport now, it's over there. Runway 36 right, so cool stuff might happen. Localizer is enabled, which is good. And at some point the aircraft will decide to start turning, which is now.
2,500.
Good. That
Slow alive.
that amount of runways is so confusing. Oh well. There's so many runways. They're all in line with each other. Wow. I can understand why that system tells you which runway you're approaching. Approach.
Localizer alive.
Good.
2,500.
Light slow captured.
And we're going down.
2,500.
Speed check, flaps 2.
Let's bring those flaps back and slow us down. I would like to have control of the speed now. Bring the flaps back to 100 and speed back to 125.
Speed check, flaps 3.
Slowly gonna get
Flaps
those.
full.
Speed check, flaps full.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Localizer captured.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Good, good. remind myself of the approach speed. It's 114.
Landing checklist.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Down and locked, 3 greens.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Auto brakes.
Medium.
Exterior lights.
On.
Go around altitude.
Checked.
Landing memo.
Checked, no blue.
Checklist complete.
Good. We are going to be landing very soon. Let's go outside and have a look at the aircraft. That's nice. That's another screenshot. We are on approach. How cool is that? I have FTX Global installed. That really expensive add-on that is absolutely amazing. You just adds a certain amount of realism, and there are so many runways. Is it just me that is it just intimidated? How many runways does this airport have? Just go by the Pappy lights. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1,000.
Probably 8. 8 runways. That's unbelievable. Wow. And we took off from a runway that had equally as many runways. You guys in America have such big airports. Cool. Coming up at 800 feet, I'm going to take...
3, 6, right.
We are on the right runway. Good. I'm going to take control at 500 feet. And we'll land this flight. There's a golf course there as well. You guys love golf courses as much as we do. I'm going to land this aircraft all by myself without the autopilot. Because I'm not sure whether it was going to do auto land. But it will. Cool. Just coming up on 500 feet.
500.
Autopilot off.
Get rid of the autopilot. And this just
400.
seems so slow. Is it just me that thinks this 114 knots is just really, really
300
slow?
above.
Let's see how it goes though.
200 minimum.
Continue.
$100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5,
Ground spoilers.
And as always, EasyDot makes every landing look really, really bad. Good.
70 knots.
Manual brakes.
Auto brakes off.
Well, that was a pretty good landing, I must admit. We are very light and very slow, so don't know whether to say that that was just... I don't know which way to turn. Which way should we go this way? Let's go this way. But I'm going to say that that was probably something to do with the fact that we were landing at 114 knots and I landed Cessna 172 at
APU
60.
After landing checklist.
Exterior lights.
Checked.
Ground spoilers.
Set off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
Flaps.
Checked retracted.
TCAS.
Checked standby.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
APU.
On.
Checklist complete.
Good, well we'll just pull onto this taxiway, or what I think is a taxiway. I'm hoping it's not a runway. That would be bad. I think it is.
Approaching. 3, 6, left.
There you go. That's so useful. But as always, we'll jump back and have a couple of replays of that. hope you enjoyed the replays, and hope you enjoyed the entire flight as well, actually. Thank you very much for watching, and if you do obviously want more of these, then don't forget what you have to do. You have to subscribe and or like the video, and until next time, have a good one. See you later.